Oh, this is going to be a fun one. Former Utah movie producer sentenced for tax evasion and forcibly retaking property seized under court order. Yes, he armed himself and attempted to take back his house that the government had seized for his back taxes. Who is this guy? His name is Paul Kenneth Cromar, a dude in Utah. Kind of looked up some stuff about this guy. I found his Twitter. At least I think it's his Twitter. This is apparently him. And he's deep into the sovereign citizen movement, I guess you'd say. You can see that he makes reference to sovereign citizen. Where was it? It was down here in his tweet somewhere. Right here. Once I get home, safe location, reunite with loved ones, I'll post a series of videos about my horrible journey and how the sovereign citizens came to my rescue. I get a lot of sovereign citizen folks on my TikTok saying, hey, taxes are illegal. Taxes only apply, to this. And it's just a bunch of nonsense that has been rejected by courts over and over and over again. And the reason why a lot of sovereign citizens think they get away with it is because they frankly don't owe the IRS much money to begin with. Well, here's a guy who did owe the IRS a lot of money. Basically, and I kind of went through all the court docs as well. Well, we can just take it from the top, okay? Dude basically didn't file any tax returns and did not pay any federal income tax from 1999 to 2005. Okay. 2005, IRS revenue agents conducted an audit for these years, and I imagine they did an SFR, like substitute returns for him for 1999 through 2005, and determined he owed $703,267 of taxes, penalties, and interest. Okay. After receiving notice of the assessments, it says he failed to make any payments. Beginning in or around February 2008, an IRS revenue officer noticed the difference. So the revenue agent is the auditor, right, on the liability side. The revenue officer is on the collection side, right? Revenue agent determines how much the taxpayer owes or how much the IRS thinks they owe. The revenue officer comes in once that tax has been assessed to collect that money. IRS revenue officer attempted to collect the unpaid taxes, penalties, and interest by initiating a collection enforcement action against defendant Cromar. The revenue officer notified the defendant about their collection efforts by, among other ways, meeting with the defendant at his home in or around September 2009, around which time the IRS filed a notice of federal tax lien against his home in Cedar Hills, Utah, which was owned by this guy and his wife. During the audit and collection enforcement action, defendant Cromar provided numerous documents that falsely claimed that he, among other things, was not a citizen to the United States and was not subject to federal income tax. Revenue agent sent the defendant a letter warning him that the positions he was taking were frivolous and had been rejected by numerous courts. In November 2017, the United States filed suit in district court to reduce his outstanding tax debt to a judgment and to foreclose, essentially seize on his home in satisfaction to satisfy or partially satisfy his tax debt. Okay. During the pendency of this litigation, the defendant filed a number of frivolous motions and notices. In or around March 2019, the district court ordered the sale at auction of the Cedar Hills home and ordered that United States Marshal Service preserve the property, including by evicting the residents and securing the property. Around the same time, in an attempt to obstruct the sale of the Cedar Hills home, the defendant filed a notice on the title of the home that he stated he had a $120 million claim against the property. Okay, this was obviously dismissed as frivolous. And on June 25th, 2019, U.S. Marshals removed him from his home, secured the property by changing the locks. He sought a stay of the district court's order and preliminary injunction that allowed him to return to the home. The district court denied his request. So they kicked him out in June 2019. By September, the home was sold at auction. He was there at the auction, apparently, filmed it, and passed out copies of the notice, the $120 million, bogus thing he claimed against the property as a warning to an attempt to dissuade potential buyers. Wait, I want to see this guy have like a YouTube channel. So I found a video that I think is what is being referred to. Let's check it out.
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm doing
Want to say why you guys are here?
Well, my parents are the Cromars. Our house is getting sold. Illegally. It's illegally seized. We haven't had a hearing. They won't even tell us what law we've broken.
How old are you?
I'm 16.
To explain how the seizure happened.
Hold on, I've got
Well,
were you there?
I was there. It was pretty early in the morning.
Tell us what happened as detailed as you can.
Okay.
if you're okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I got this. I woke up to pounding on the door, quickly got dressed. I was walking towards the stairs, and armed marshals, they had riot shields, they had assault rifles, they were coming in, they're yelling at me. I had no idea what was happening because I was still half asleep. And then they just kicked us out. So, yeah.
I believe he's in a well broken, and they
Here he
just
is. Here he is.
begins here and give it to him right now. So he gave it 5 minutes. Give me a federal code site. Well, it finally showed up with that guy that's over there. That's in the corner behind the gray. And you haven't told.
I don't know. The audio quality is not the best, so I don't want to spend too much time there. But it's interesting. And I look on his channel here. He's got some other stuff here. It was like these a couple years ago. I don't know. But anyway, so basically, long story short, government seized and sold his home, and this was a few years ago. And apparently now, this was just filed in late December 2024. Forcible or attempted rescue is seized property. Let's go back to the press release and see what happened here. Okay, we already covered all this. Wait, where's it talking about? Here we go. Shortly before the sale closed, Cromar broke into the home and attempted to reclaim it. With the help of others, he occupied the home unlawfully for 5 months, fortifying it with firearms, sandbags, and wooden boards tactically placed throughout the house. And that is what his most recent sentence is for, to 6 years in prison for tax evasion, forcibly retaking a house and land that had been seized under court order to pay his outstanding tax debt. Now, interestingly enough, I think this is his biggest claim to fame as far as his movie career went. I actually really loved this movie when I was a kid, believe it or not. I was a big fan of this movie. I watched it a lot. I would recommend it. I'll probably show it to my kids if I can find out where I could stream it. But you can see he was one of the writers. Story by, you can see Don Bluth, who's kind of the main director, producer. And then I don't know what order they put these in, but he was right after him in terms of the writing credits. So that's fairly interesting. I find that interesting just, because my personal childhood affinity for this film. But unfortunately, looks like this guy, he's going to be going to federal prison. And, I know this video may or may not attract some sovereign citizens folks. Hey, and I welcome your comments. I do read them. But in my opinion, this is just another example of the sovereign citizen arguments when, things come to a boil, when the what hits the fan of simply failing to work in court, with the result being that, a sovereign citizen adherent being sentenced to federal prison. So I don't know if he'll actually go to prison. He obviously has appeal rights and things like that. But if he's making the same arguments over and over, I think we know what the end of that road is. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for watching. I have some other videos about tax cheats, tax crooks, tax evaders right over here. And if you have a tax problem, you owe at least $10,000 in back taxes, give us a call here at Choice Tax Relief, 866-8000-TAX. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.